Click
It's
to go
gonna go
live.
live.
Click to go live.
now.
Click to go live.
Click.
Click to go
Go
live.
live.
Click to go
Double
live.
click.
Click to go
Click
live.
it one time,
Click to go live.
just
Click
once.
to go live.
Just
The
once.
remix was
Live.
Just
amazing.
once. Just once. Just once. Just once is all
Gosh.
it takes.
Hey everybody. Gosh, is sound working?
Have we clicked to have gone live?
We have clicked to gone live.
We have clicked. We have gone live.
That song was not just a fun thing that we do every Friday at 4-ish, 5-ish o'clock. Hi, everybody.
Something that we do way too much.
Thank you for being here. Hi, Riz. Hi, Johanna. Hi, Jesse.
Welcome to the
Hi,
Friday
Allison.
Melee.
Friday Melee.
Friday. Malay.
Malaise. I hope that your Fridays are going well. I hope you've had a good, solid week. I think we've had very busy weeks, or I have. I don't know about you guys. How are you guys doing?
You've had a very busy week.
Ah, busy little beaver.
Oh, a little beaver? Oh,
Busy
beaver.
little beaver.
Oh, a bee like Justin Bieber.
Like Justin. Busy little beaver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Justin Bieber.
What happened to
What?
Justin Bieber? Is he still around?
He clicked
I think
go
he's
live.
around.
Yeah, he clicked go live.
Is he hotter than ever?
No, I think he's.
Nobody
Crickets.
knows.
no, I'm sure he's
Or-
still attractive.
Cares?
I'm sure
Is
he's
he?
still
Was he ever attractive?
Yeah.
Is that a thing he was?
He was very cute once upon a time until he got kind of creepy and weird.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
he's
know,
still, so
I
there we
know.
go. Hi, Grace.
Already
Hi,
off
Irene. Hi, Amy Cox. Yes, I've had a very busy week, but we don't have to start with me. Everybody else has had busy weeks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, fine. We'll start with me.
Okay.
I've had a very, very busy week. It's been exciting. I've delved back into the world of sound design for theater, and also delved back into the world of caption design for theater. Both of those things very exciting for my friend Johanna's. Tonight's it's kind of the last preview of an extravaganza called Freak Show. Everybody.
Freak show.
We're going to throw some links in the chat for those people. We would love for you to come and see it and experience a new kind of theater. It's virtual. It's safe. There's music. Evan has kindly donated some songs that were featured in Cabaret Kiki for the pre-show, the post-show, and the inter-show.
I didn't have to do any extra work. It was
You didn't
already
have
done.
to- didn't have to do any work.
I had to answer a question.
Thank
And
you.
The answer was yes.
Hello. Yes. The URL is freakshow.eventbrite.com.
I just
Freak
pinned
Show
that comment.
TF.
So it should be at the top now.
Eventbrite.
I'm sorry. Whoops. Freak Show WTF. Freak Show WTF. Women's Theater
WTF,
Festival
What the-
WTF. Yeah.
What the flip? It stands for flip, right?
Flip. What the flip?
Are you
so I've been
flip?
doing that, working very hard. Talk about tech. I mean, everybody is giving 100%, but there's a fella that has been, gosh, I guess technically his job has been set designer, lighting designer, because he's operating the streaming. So he's a streaming designer, and he's using OBS, and man, he is a master. He is a master. I think
Did you
one of my
say he's a
favorite-
freak?
Yes, WTF.
He's freaky.
He's super sweet and kind and intelligent and fun, and man, he's been very inspiring. I'd say one of my favorite things about this experience for me is getting to know Anthony and just being amazed by his skills with a Z. And then in my other time, the only thing else I've got to say that I've done this week is that I built a Hackintosh. Just
Right.
in
You
spare
were
time.
you were in the throes of it last week.
I was
We
in
were
the
talking
throes of
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
I don't think I realized that you were as close to building it as you were, and now
Yeah.
it's pretty much done.
It is pretty much done. There's a couple of little things that I want to fix on it. Bluetooth is not working, and
That's
but
important.
man, yeah, I can get it to work. I'm gonna make
You
it.
know, I can't help but notice that right as you started talking about this, Nathan Barris appeared. It's like you summoned him.
Yeah.
Hello, Nathan Barris. We did summon him. We summoned him. Yes, Nathan's here. Nathan helped me a lot building this Hackintosh. It's incredible. Nathan and a bunch of people online. This guy named Technoli, Morganaut. These are names of people. These are
People.
names. And man, it really was a sense of accomplishment to build a PC, number one, and then to all these like kexts and all this Cody stuff, and then to see that startup screen from the Mac to show, and it is fast. It is fast as blue blazes, whatever that means. Whatever blue blazes are, it is fast as that.
It's the fastest of the blaze.
It's the fastest
Everybody
of
knows
the
that.
blaze.
Wow,
So I'm very excited. I'm very excited because, and now I'm transitioning to stuff that happened to y'all this week. The three of us got a gig, which were a brand new type of gig for us. We're excited about it. We're going to be helping a school here in Illinois to provide a graduation for its students, which we're really proud to support because this is something that has to happen, and graduations are still important, even though people can't go out. So the three of us are going to tackle this together. We're going to have, video editing, and we're going to have video design and streaming design, and that's also Evan, and Allison is going to do, well, all the rest.
We got to turn this around pretty quick. I mean, graduation is upon us.
It's
Yeah.
happening.
This is going to be a fun and fast and furious deep dive.
It is. It is.
And pretty neat that I don't know that we would have necessarily come across a gig like this had we not been already doing these tech talks, these melees.
I see the
It's
correlation.
It's pretty
Yeah.
wacky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like that's that's kind of what we set out to do, was say, hey, we've got some solutions on how to do this, and here comes somebody who has some. You got a problem? Yo,
Yeah, we'll
Who
solve
are you
it.
gonna call?
Oh,
Ghostbusters.
we went different directions there.
It's fine. It's fine.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So man, I'm excited. We got to get cracking, moving.
Gotta get cracking.
shaking on that one.
Yep.
Kids gotta graduate. Now these
Graduate.
kids who are graduating are in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
And I will say, when I was in the 8th grade, I did not graduate from anything. I left middle school and went to high school. But then we didn't have a graduation thing. That wasn't in North Carolina, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina anyway. That was not a thing. But is that a thing everywhere now?
It's a huge
the 8th
thing.
graders?
Yeah.
Our friend Nathan.
So you graduate middle
yeah.
school, right?
Yeah, our friend Gabe Barris just had his graduation. That's a real thing. It is a real thing.
Yo.
So
Wow. Okay. Well,
yeah.
I mean, there's a guy who lives in my neighborhood who has a DeLorean. So let's hop in that DeLorean and go back in time so that we can have a graduation in
have
the 8th
that.
grade.
I feel the pain just emanating off of you over this, Evan.
you
Well,
had one.
no, I just
Well, I didn't, but I was K through 6, and then junior high was 7, 8, 9, and then high school was 10, 11, 12.
so
And I really don't remember I think there was some kind of moving on ceremony kind of thing at the end of 9th grade. I don't really remember. That was a long time ago, and I blocked it just out of my brain as fully as I could.
you know what, Biv? I bet Wardy graduated from Summit.
Ward, no, Ward was just like given the never mind. He just got hopped on the magic carpet and flew away from Pepperidge Farm. We like to razz Wardy.
We do. He likes to be
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Winger
Our
too.
cousin and good friend Michael Winger. He knows. He knows. They
knows.
both got on the Pepper Farm tractor
Boat.
and rode off into the sunset away from school. Anyways, so that's
Anyways.
fun. That's a crazy project. So
Yeah.
like Matt said, we're going to do video editing, design,
Streaming.
doing live stream management, like
60
60 kids plus at least one, hopefully just one speaking adult. It's going to be
A
interesting.
party.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
A party.
Cool. Gigs. Get
Yeah.
those gigs. Always be closing, y'all.
I love it.
Hey, and I'm actually at the school today.
Yes.
I am.
Adele.
I
move over. Fine. Hold on.
Giles, is
Stay-
that you?
Stay there. Let me show you
Giles
the full.
isn't
There
here
it
right
is.
now. There he
Oh.
is.
Yeah.
Giles isn't here
so-
right now. Unfortunately, I'm here and I cannot help you do anything. I can't help you find a book. I can't help you slay a vampire. I can't. I do wish I had Giles's car though. God, you remember his sweet Citroen?
I
Oh man.
wish I had his
Also-
green coffee mug. He just iconic. I love
Yeah?
it. I want it.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you could actually.
Interesting.
They sell that online. I need to go get it.
Aw.
I wish I had Anthony Head's awesome face and acting ability as well.
You guys have great
He's very
face.
handsome.
He is.
Anyways, we're going back to school.
Yeah. What else?
Okay. What else? I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on our in our chat today because for the first time I reached out to. I belong to a Webflow group, Facebook group, and I just mentioned in there today. It's like, hey, this is a thing that I do. We talk about Webflow sometimes. I don't actually have anything really Webflow related to discuss today, but I am kind of hoping that somebody from there will show up and totally stump me with some super nerdy Webflow questions.
Me too.
I've actually been using Webflow since 2012, so that's almost since the beginning. So I do know a lot about it, but that doesn't mean that I know the most about it by any stretch. I'm sure there's people out there who will take me to school, and I'll say, "We're going to go to my school, and you can fight my dad, Giles. My dad can beat up your dad." Anyway, hopefully some nerds from over there will show up. In the meantime, I've had fun this week working on something. I actually kind of hinted at it last Friday, and now it's all ready to roll out, like the Autobots. So one project that I had been wanting to try for a long time was just creating some designs that were just for me, just for fun, and that I could upload to a Redbubble or a TeePublic or whatever. And if people bought it, they bought it and enjoyed it. And if they didn't, then there was really no skin off my nose. That's the nice thing about print-on-demand services is that other than the time you put into designing it, you're not really on the hook for a whole lot. Of course, that's not an inconsiderable amount of time. Designing it was one step, and then just uploading it to one of the platforms takes a lot of time, way more than I ever imagined. And that's just one. I can talk a little bit about if anyone out there is interested in this, which if you're already asleep, just shout out. But I found out a lot about the print-on-demand service and how, number one, more content equals more money, more visibility. That if you're on every platform, that's better than just being on one. You're going to make different money on different platforms. It's all kind of varies a little bit, and people like them all. But it's kind of like how if you've ever, every Uber driver also does Lyft. It's that kind of idea. Anyways, so I was inspired by when a client of mine actually introduced me to a designer by the name of Daniel Carlmatz. That's Carlmatz, and I'm spelling it out because I recommend that you go check out his Instagram if you like having your mind blown. He is a Carlmatz, he is a phenomenal designer, and he did this really fun challenge for himself, which was to take just everyday words, bear, line, turtle, whatever, right, and turn it into a piece of word graphic art logo. And they're all genius, and they get right to the core of what that thing is, but also incorporating letter forms and stuff. It's very nerdy on many levels, especially design-wise. So I saw this and I thought, oh man, I would like to, number one, get good at something, like practice that kind of puzzling in your brain of how do I distill down the idea of something and then incorporate it into a letter form, whether using positive space or negative space, yada, yada, yada. But I would like to apply that to something that I'm into, other than just like, a random word. Obviously, Daniel Karlmatz is already doing that brilliantly. And there's actually a lot of people who kind of do logos like this, very, kind of clever logos things. So I decided I was going to apply that to just nerdy things. And since D&D has been the subject matter of choice recently, I said, okay, I'm going to start with the 12 Dungeons and Dragons classes, the kinds of characters that you can be. And for those of you who don't play D&D, there are 12 of them. Bard, Barbarian, Cleric, Druid, Fighter,
Wizard, Sorcerer, Warlock, Rogue.
Ranger, Rogue. Anyway, there's a slew. And so I thought, let me just try this and get to it. And so at first, like a lot of design projects or any creative projects, you get into it, you get excited, and then it starts to slow down a little bit. And when it's not coming as easily as maybe it first did, you're like, oh, wow, I've got 12 of these I've got to do. Oh man. So I will let me say right now, I'm in no way comparing the work that I've done to anything that Daniel Karlmatz has done. This is not on that level. But it's been a super fun project. If you're really nerdy and you like D&D and you're like, yeah, I'm a rogue, then go. I've finally launched a Redbubble page with all these designs. It's there in the comments. Go check it out. I've actually sold, without promoting it at all yet, 2 masks. Redbubble recently started offering masks. I think all of them have now. And
yeah.
So
can I speak to that for a second, Viv?
Can you speak to what?
I would like to speak to the fact that there have been some people that have asked us questions about their work, their art, their creations, and whether anybody was going to watch them, see them, read them, so on and so forth. And I think what you're doing right now is the perfect example. We have not been great at it our whole lives, but you had an idea, you started having fun for fun, and then you got a reaction from us that was, hey, that's really great. And there was no reason for you not to share that, both just online to other people, but also to put it on a shirt so that somebody could also share it and walk around. And yes, it is more work to put it on something like Redbubble, but we're in a different world right now where different kinds of different amounts of income should come. We need to have them come together. And I just wanted to speak to your process as also a new world order money making thing that is both fun and enjoyable for you. And 2 people have a mask and they're protecting themselves. And in other words, go for it is what I guess what I'm saying. And Evan just went for it, and it's great. Yeah, it's so great.
Well, the backstory there, and I wasn't going to mention this because I thought it was boring, but now that you have brought it up, I'll go ahead and mention it. The inspiration behind this, and brother, you and I talked about this in one of our the Bib Bros shows, the podcast episodes, about kind of the creative process and how last year and the year before, I started getting really into comic art and drawing. And comic art is a very, very complicated art form. And, depending on how you approach it. But there's so much to it, from, just your actual, your level of skill as an artist, as a penciler, as an inker, as a colorist, whatever, to storytelling, to perspective, all of this stuff. It's pretty intense. So it's easy. It was easy for me to sit down and practice and meet frustration after frustration, because every day it was so hard, right? As a designer, as a graphic designer, when I'm dealing with logos or websites or all the stuff that I've been working on for years, it comes a little bit easier, just with my facility. So with comic art, I got bogged down, like I was saying before, and I kind of stopped wanting to do it as much, and that's when I recognized you have to keep if you want to just do a project for yourself, you have to keep it fun. The more you break through those barriers, the more, if I choose to continue drawing in that way, the more I'll break through those barriers, and it'll become easier to a certain extent, at least more fluid. But in this case, I needed to do something and get it done, because the journey from learning how to become a comic artist to publishing a book can be a very, very long journey. Now, you can be a web comic artist. There's lots of ways to do it quicker as well. But doing a project like this was just a much quicker win, which sometimes that's the confidence boost that you need to just keep yourself being creative and doing something that's fun. This is maybe just a tangent from my what I was talking about last week in terms of process, and how everybody's process is a little bit different. My process is a little bit more chaotic maybe than some others. But this is another kind of piece of that, of like, yeah, if I do this, even though there's still a lot to do, I still know how to work on a piece of graphic art. My facility is at a certain level where I can execute on that and then get it on a Redbubble. Now, the next step, I think, is one that I'm going to study underneath my personal sensei, Allison Kendrick, on how to promote it, because I do want people to buy this stuff. I do want people to see it. I want and sell it. And like you were saying, brother, it's beyond just doing a creative project for the sake of creativity. This is also something that if this could be some mailbox money, man, I'd be thrilled. But you do, like, it's an ocean of content out there on all of these sites. So standing out, and this is not a new concept. I mean, if you want to go looking for T-shirts with class names, D&D class names, there's dozens at least of all that. So, but it's not about that. Like, if someone thinks that mine are more fun than, or just speak to them in some way, then that's the most I can hope for.
You've already gotten people asking for things that aren't D&D related, which I understand. I mean,
well, they're in the
your
plans.
loss.
I mean, when I actually started out, it wasn't.
It wasn't D&D.
It wasn't.
Yeah. If full disclosure, it was. It was basically kind of anything that was nerdy and inspiring to me. So I actually do have a Doctor Who one. The problem is you do have to consider intellectual property, and you don't want anybody shutting you down, or worse, taking any kind of earnings that you made away from you. Now, there are artists out there like Butcher Billy. Matt has bought many things from him. And if you're not familiar with Butcher Billy, go get familiar with Butcher Billy. If you like comics, if you like pop art, if you like, pop icons, the man is second to none, and he churns it out super fast. He's just ridiculous. But he's taking intellectual property from all over the place. Put Batman on top of Morrissey or whatever it is, David Bowie and Spider-Man, not just IP, but people's faces. So, and he gets away with it. And I don't know if these companies and entities just say, well, he's Butcher Billy and this is so awesome that we're just going to let him get away with it, or what. But
there's a lot to
when I started off with Doctor Who, it can be very gray. So with Doctor Who, I was like, well, maybe I should start with something a little more, even more gray, right? A little more neutral.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so that's where I came to there.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
Welcome.
yeah.
That's fun stuff.
Thanks. It's fun. I like doing it. Next up, I'm going to try to draw representations of all of these characters in my particular comic art style to accompany these logos. That's next up in my mind.
Are you going to base it on any of our character
sure.
roll-ups?
Of course. Of course. But of course.
But of course. I see some great faces. I don't see any specific questions in the comments today, which is totally fine. You don't have to ask. But if you guys do have questions, please, that's why we're here on Fridays, to answer questions that you may have about being online, or if anything that we have learned that will help you, please say so. But Allison, you had some homework this week that I
did.
You accomplished, and perhaps it's time for you to share.
To the best of my ability. So last week I kind of teased that Facebook, which means Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and then all of the different parts of that. So stories and Messenger and all that fun stuff have rolled out a storefront option. So it's Facebook conglomerate's answer to helping more small businesses, especially, bring their business online in the wake of COVID-19. So I did, a little bit of research. It's brand new. News outlets are just starting to report on it, so I couldn't get in as far as I kind of wanted to. But what I've learned is it, for now, is primarily for goods, not necessarily the best fit for services or events. I think that's really important to note that they're really trying to help small businesses push their goods out. Like I mentioned before, it can be integrated with any of the Facebook family of offerings. And what's really great about it is if you're already doing any kind of Facebook or Instagram marketing where you're placing your ads into messages, feeds, stories, etc., you can now kind of have it so it's one click through. So you advertise a product, somebody clicks on that product, and boom, they can purchase that product all from within the same app. And especially if thinking about it from a customer experience standpoint, if they already have everything wired up as far as a payment or even cryptocurrency option goes, it's just that much more seamless for the end user, the end customer, and therefore might make those transactions happen a little bit more readily. There are some cool features that will be rolling out with it that kind of excite me. For instance, you'll be able to throw live shopping events where, just like we're live right now, if we were some kind of e-commerce store, we would be able to showcase a product and you would be able to buy it right there on the spot, which I think will be fun. There will be loyalty shopping, so that way you can kind of reward the people who shop with you the most. And I'm interested that Facebook has kind of made ploy is not the right word, but they have kind of established that there will be some privacy guidelines surrounding this, which I think is something we all worry about when we talk about Facebook. So obviously any purchases that you make not only will be completely secure, but it's not like Facebook is going to run and tell that to, other businesses or your friends and kind of show your online buying history. So there's my real quick and dirty of that. But I wanted to make an offer because, as I mentioned, it's brand new. I don't know enough of it yet. And the best way to help is just to kind of dive in. I'm not a store, so I don't have anything I can sell. So for anybody watching who is interested in bringing a storefront online and wants to test this out, email me. And I'm going to help for free as many people as I can. I'm going to commit to at least the first 3 people who email me. If more than 3 people email me, I'll just kind of work through the list. I'll give you a couple hours of my time. We'll talk through best practices. I'll help you set up the store. I'll kind of help you troubleshoot any of the technical stuff that might be a blocker for you. So you can find me, just go to akshouts.com is the easiest way. And there's a button to email me right there. If we are connected, you can drop me a message. You can email me. It's Allison@akshouts.com. But I'd love to help. And I think that this is something actually really cool that Facebook is doing to help the small business community. So let's sell your stuff. And what made me think of this, and I hope she's on right now, my friend Trisha joined. She sells the most delicious candles. And she's been, kind of wondering for a while, how can she grow her business outside of the Charlotte market? Well, when COVID-19 hit, she used to go to a lot of shows, sell at a lot of breweries and things like that. Her company is called Lumen Candles, Lumen. And so I really, really want her to, get on this train so we can send her candles far and wide. So Trisha, you were on my mind as I was doing this reading, but I know there have to be a lot of other people out there interested in kind of flexing this Facebook,
I'm looking around,
storefront
around
happening.
here for things that I can sell.
Oh,
Got,
here's one of my favorite candles. This smells like Fruit Loops.
ooh,
It smells like Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
I've got a pink lemonade
Wow.
one.
So yeah, that wouldn't be good because then I would want some
Want
Fruit
to
Loops
eat
and I
it.
wouldn't have any, and sadness.
I have not bought Fruit Loops in well over a decade, and this made me go out and buy some Fruit
Did it?
Loops. It smelled
Oh,
that good. Yeah.
heck yeah.
Oh,
I had to scratch that itch.
Sidebar:
Uh,
I see all these ads on Facebook all the time for Magic Spoon, which is like the keto Fruit Loops. It's cereal that's like made of, it's just protein and low carbohydrate. And I'm like, A, is that going to be good? B, if it is, it still can't be good.
Yeah.
Can't be good for you.
I'm a huge Trader Joe's fan, but I really was craving some Cinnamon Toast Crunch a few weeks ago. And of course, they don't sell, name brands. They have their own. So I bought the Trader Joe's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It has the same amount of sugar as like high octane Cinnamon Toast Crunch. None of the flavor. It was cardboard. It was. I'm like, if I'm going, like, if it was sugar, like low end sugar, I would have muddled through. But I'm like, I'm not eating. Anyway, we could talk about cereal all day. Not
We could.
But
yeah, we won't talk about Trader Joe's Oreos then, which I find superior. I think
we're
they're
going
superior.
to get ads for all these things in our feeds
We
as a
are.
result
Yeah.
of this.
Yes, that's one thing that Facebook is not doing that's nice.
No, I told Matt Neffen this, but last weekend I was talking about White Russians, just White Russians, no other context.
You weren't even drinking them. You were just
I
talking
wasn't
about
drinking them. I was just talking. I said the words White Russians. All week long, I've been getting Big Lebowski fans content in my feed, which I think that's a little genius. That's the key word that they're using to reach out to me, because obviously if I'm talking about White Russians, I'm a Big Lebowski fan, but that felt creepy and invasive. So no.
Strangely, I was referencing the nihilists from the movie Big Lebowski, and all I get are ads for nihilist literature. And I thought I was going to be really cool and be able to like drop a reference, but I don't actually know
nihilist
any.
reference.
I don't read any nihilist literature.
In the meantime, our friend
start.
Nate has a very long question, so I'll put the whole thing up on the screen. Oh no, everything turned blue. That's my fault.
That
for
doesn't
sure.
look great.
That
Ooh.
doesn't look great. Ugh, why? Hold on. Let's see if I can fix it. I don't want blue, do I? I want that. Did that work?
Oh, the perils of
No.
live.
Ah,
Oh, there it
okay.
is. Here it
It's
is.
a little better. Nathan Barris. He has a promo question for you. When submitting a press release, reaching out to contact folks in the media, how much contact is too much? If there is a little response to an attempt to connect, should I revamp the engagement and reach out again, or just let it ride so as not to wear out my welcome? Man, this is a good one. Backstory: got some help with the press release and some contacts for the project, but only a small nibble in the story. Obviously, there's been a lot of dumb things happening recently.
Yeah.
Should I resend the email, continue to reach out, let it ride, reach out to different folks? Whew, good questions.
Woo! MB. Yes, to all of the above, as I'm kind of reading through this and make sure that I answer your question appropriately. So I think when we're talking specifically about PR and press releases, you always have to pay attention to what's going on in the news cycle. So this, I don't need to say it out loud, but it's been a pretty horrible week or a big week for news. So chances are your engagement has gotten buried. Kind of calling back to my business development and sales days, when it comes to things like outreach and engagement, I like to set what I call an upfront contract. So if I'm reaching out to somebody, I'm very clear not only in why I'm reaching out, but kind of what my next steps will be. So for you specifically with this story, by all means, I say reach back out. I think a little bit of feel good squishiness is probably what we all need, and maybe better heard this week than it was at the time that you originally reached out. But maybe kind of say, I'm hoping to hear back from you by, and then detail what your next steps might be. So, this is something I'm moving forward with this project. I'm reaching out to you because I'm interested in your publication. A little buttering up never hurt anybody. I'll check back in again at the top of next week, but then I might have to move on and, let some others know about the story or however you want to word that. You'll probably have to hit several times though, and I would try, if you have multiple ways of getting in touch with the people that you tried engaging, I would try that. So if you've emailed but you have a phone number, if you have, by all means, their Twitter handle, if you know where they are on social media, etc. I think that this is worth being a little bit persistent, and trying kind of 2 or 3 times on a couple of different platforms.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's still important stuff. It's still, I love the good news angle personally. Yeah. Johanna is shaking her head with corroboration.
I know. I was
right?
nervous saying that, knowing that Johanna's watching. Yeah. So feel free to correct me if anything I said was wrong. I'm always open to feedback.
Yeah, but yeah, she's like, yeah, it's a crazy week for that kind of stuff. Yes. Let's see. Hi, Dana. Resnick, hello. What else?
Can I add on top of that, Nate? That the good news, I think, in this case is whereas Matt and I had the experience of trying to put out a record in 2001, and the release date of the record, the day it came out, was September 11th, 2001. And as you can imagine, our record was the last thing in anyone's thoughts. So, but with the album, in the music industry. And Mike Winger, you can jump in and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm not wrong. You have a very limited time to kind of act and capitalize on your release. Like you have to make the biggest splash you possibly can immediately. But the work that you're doing is an ongoing project. It's not done and then you're putting it out and then nobody cares anymore. This is a living, breathing experience that's ongoing. So. If you're not hearing from someone now, like keep going. This is something you're going to continue to be doing, and someone is going to be interested in it. You're not shackled in the same way that Matt and I were, just by the constraints of the music industry in the year 2001, which I don't know that it's changed that much in that way since then. So anyway, don't give up hope is what I'm saying.
And if I can kind of add on, because Biv just jogged my memory on something else to say. Having not seen your press release and what you've put together, I would just kind of add as some either solicited or unsolicited advice to make sure that you are differentiating your work from a lot of what else is happening. I know that the Front Porch Project is something that a lot of families are doing just for fun, and it's great because they're still getting their spring portraits together and supporting photographers in that way. But your art form really is different from that, and the Shelter in Place project is more, I think, personally, than just a Front Porch Project. So if you didn't, kind of hit that, make sure that comes across both in the press release and the communications, why this is different, to kind of see if you can get their attention that way.
Mm-hmm. That's shelterinplaceproject.com.
Go there.
Go there and check it
out.
Go there. And check it out. And also go here and get you a ticket for a
just make it take up the whole screen. Nobody
show.
Came to see us.
Yeah, why not? You could just take it. Just go and get a ticket to a hold on. Gonna get a ticket to a virtual theatrical spectacular. Is what it is. Is what it is. And I would say more than anything, and I think that we've been saying this for weeks and weeks and weeks. More than anything, both Nate's stuff and Johanna's stuff is what we have to work with right now, and it is people not giving up, people doing their best to continue to be artists, people thinking outside of boxes, and still trying to encourage and involve their fellow artists in ways, and to hold them up, and like try to make their lives better, because sometimes people are down about that kind of stuff. So.
Hey, brother, can I put you on the spot?
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll need to get permission from Johanna, but I'm going to put you on the spot, both content-wise and technologically. Can you give us a little teaser taste of some of the music you've made for this show live?
Jeez, I can try. That is putting me on the spot simply because I would have to figure out. I don't think
That's okay. I mean, I literally just threw that.
Talk among
at
yourselves.
you.
Let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can do.
Nate, just to go back really quick, the incredibly knowledgeable Amy Cox also reiterates the persistence is key, all caps, with the press. Certainly, nobody knows better than her dealing with press, what that can be like. So anyway,
Listen to Amy.
Yeah, anytime Amy pipes up, pay attention. It's just pearls of wisdom fall out. Yeah. Well,
Let's see
what else you? Yeah, just some dead air. How do you guys feel about dead air?
Is this working?
I didn't mean to. Oh no.
It's not working. You can't hear
Oh,
I hear something.
I heard it.
Crank it up.
it.
Yeah.
I want some cotton candy now.
Yeah. Feeling it.
Hold on. See what happens. As you can tell, this has a circus theme.
Love it.
I'm gonna laugh if nobody on the broadcast can hear this, and it's just the three of us. Chucklehead.
It might be.
Yeah. I can hear it. That's the important part. Oh. Getting evil. Wow. Getting the sense that something very bad is about to happen. It's very loud. Yeah. It's the carousel ride downhill. Yeah, that is sounding like somebody is in serious trouble. Cool. I love that, brother. It's awesome.
Yeah. It has been super fun. It has been super fun to put that together, to kind of think in that way. Yeah, it's been really fun. There's all kinds of little pieces, and we haven't done a lot of sound design in our careers. You've done a little bit. I've done a little bit. We're nowhere near our friend Kevin O'Donnell.
Oh God. Few people are though.
Mm-mm.
That man works and works.
I think about how like he puts something together.
Just
and I'm like,
juggles
wow.
multiple projects all at once.
Same time.
Can
Right.
I tell my my ring cycle story?
Yes, yes, you should tell the Ring Cycle story. Yeah.
Okay, so when I lived in Chicago, I had the good fortune of being in a production of the House Theater's The Nutcracker. No, this was all. I did do that show, but I also did All the Fame of Lofty Deeds, which Matt was also in, and Kevin O'Donnell, who was a drummer. You might have seen him or be aware of him from Andrew Bird's Bowl of Fire, or just playing with Andrew Bird after the Bowl of Fire. Amazing, one of my greatest inspirations, an amazing person. He writes a ton of music for theater and sound design. He did not play in the drum seat for All the Fame of Lofty Deeds because he was too busy doing other stuff. And so I got the call, which I was thrilled about, had so much fun. And during production, Kevin comes up to me and says, "Hey, man, how would you like to be?" Right now I'm working on a production of the Ring Cycle, a theatrical production, not the opera. And I'm too busy to play the entire run myself. Would you be willing to step in and play in the drum seat? And I was like, oh, wow, okay. He's like, it's I play drum set and glockenspiel, but it's a rock band. There's no singing. It's like guitar, bass, drums. It's rocking. All of the lyrics are spoken. And it's really, really cool. And I said, you know what? I was riding this high of doing, being a part of theater again. It was the first show I had done in Chicago. And I said, yeah, man, yes, sign me up. And so I show up just at a rehearsal, and Kevin says, oh yeah, and it's 6 hours long. And I'm like, okay, yeah. No, I'm still into that. And for reference, the actual Ring Cycle, the opera, the Ring Cycle is how long, brother? Like closer to 13 hours?
Yeah, I was a number of days, maybe a week. It's long.
It can go. It's very, very long. So 6 hours is super condensed version, and that's with intermission. So there's also that. Anyway, so I show up to the theater. They're in the middle of rehearsing. They're practically teching at this point. Opening night is not far out, and I sit down and I'm watching the whole show. It is super cool. There's puppets and the staging of it is really neat. The pit where the musicians are kind of recessed in the stage, upstage on the stage left, and I get the feeling very quickly that Kevin is not just playing drums. I mean, he adapted the music, but he's also 100% music directing this show. and none of the other musicians, who are all fabulous musicians, would know what the hell is going on. They know their parts, but they're not facing the stage. They can't see anything. So I realize, like, my brain just starts leaking out my ears because I realize, oh my God, I'm not just going to be stepping into the drum seat. I'm going to be music directing the show. I have to know 6 hours worth of cues in like a week, and I barely made it through that experience with my life. It ended up being so much fun, but it was so scary. I've never played drum set and glockenspiel at the same time before. Had many challenges, but KOD, if you're out there, I still owe you for that. Anyway, that's my story.
Grace, our friend Grace, says that the Ring Cycle is 17 hours.
There you go. It's long as hell.
Zoinks.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for indulging me with my theater stories.
There are so many
theater stories.
There's so many theater stories of the theater.
Lord, yeah. One day, well, AK, I'm sure it can go on and on and on about her.
Me?
Her war stories.
No.
Anyways, well, now that I just burned up a bunch of our time talking about nothing, what else?
What else we got? Anybody got?
Well,
anything
I'll just toss out there to cap off what I was saying earlier. If any of you guys are out there and you are tinkering on a design of your own, and you want to set up a Redbubble page or TeePublic or whatever it is, I just jumped in and didn't, I just kind of learned as I went. If you have any questions, definitely reach out to me and let me know. And I'm happy to share any of the foibles that I went through. I could probably streamline your process a little bit.
Yes. This is Sarah Mason Walden has invited us to a monthly burlesque art sketch show. It's on the 2nd. It's Boba Fett Mandalorian themed this time.
Oh,
Nice.
speaking our language.
I'm looking for a link though. I'm looking for a link, Sarah. I'm looking for a link in there.
There's a rumor that Boba might show up on the 2nd season.
Boba, 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 won't you let me go? I'm sorry. Wow. Okay, good. Wow, you know what? This is interesting. We have a group with burlesque, and we have a group with, and then Freak Show is obviously about, it's sort of a neo cabaret. I mean, it's about a circus, but you know what I'm saying. I wonder if it's coming back, Biv. I wonder if it's coming back. I wonder if it's time to start thinking about old Cabaret Kiki. Get back on that horse.
Y'all
about
already
it.
know. I try not to be too demanding when it comes to anything related to the two of you, but I have already logged my please include me on a Cabaret Kiki revamp with Matt many, many times. There is nothing that would make me happier than for it to come back. Oh my God. I'm now very excited that you said that. You said it live. Other people heard you.
We did. I guess
It is-
we need to build cabaretkiki.com just as if for no other reason, just as a something to reference for what it wants.
What it was.
Even if it never rides again,
I built
what
that
it once
website.
was.
I'm going to sound really creepy with what I'm about to share, but it still has an active Facebook page, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
As
What's
to the
crazy about
Dangerous
that?
Strangers.
Yeah. There it
What's
is.
tricky?
Nothing. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
there's nothing. There's no trickiness. Okay.
There's no trickiness.
And Sarah, is this the link, the Instagram link? I'm assuming. I'm gonna put it up here. Maybe we'll see. Oh, that's a doozy. We're all about supporting things. Yeah, Cabaret Kiki still the thing that I think officially the thing that I'm the most proud of being a part of in my life, and that's a big statement, as I've been a part of other things for much longer. But it was an intense, magical
It was a fun ride.
time.
It's a good group of folks.
Intensely creative. So burlesques and freak shows and theater people and photographers.
Legitimate rock stars, not us.
Right.
we
And the
were not legitimate rock stars.
Yes.
Although I guess
in Cabaret
future
Kiki.
legitimate future rock stars.
Right. Yes. In Cabaret Kiki. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, those were the days.
Those were the
Oh, Lord,
days.
here we
They could
go.
be dead. They could be again. I haven't aged out of Johnny Panic yet. I think Johnny could be like 60, 70.
You know what, brother? I actually woke up thinking about this the other day. Did you go see? There was a show on. I don't know if it was Broadway or off Broadway, but I saw it around the time that I was starting to do heavy research for Cabaret Kiki, and it was with this band that kind of considers themselves to be the world's foremost cabaret band. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Show?
It was a show based on German cautionary tales, and it was called. And there was one called Sneep Sneep.
Yeah. I thought it was not just German cautionary tales, but it was Edward Gorey related.
I don't know that it was Edward Gorey, but
But that guy, when I started thinking about what's an older Johnny Panic
yes,
look like,
yes,
I thought about that dude who in the first if we can figure out what this show was called, or if anyone out there knows what it was called,
Gosh.
feel free to type it in there.
Shock-headed Peter.
Shock-headed Peter. Good brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Well,
go
thanks, Internet.
go watch Doctor
Good
Who. You're in the
Google.
first. And again, I don't know if I saw the fellow who was the MC, if he was originated the role or if this was, I don't know. But the actor that I saw was stunning. And in the first few seconds of the show, all he was doing was like making eyes at the audience, and we were howling with laughter for like 10 minutes, it felt like.
Incredible.
And he was just, his face was made of rubber. Anyway,
I have a friend
that
here, actually,
be a
that
thing?
wants to do that. My
Wants to do
friend
Shock
Aaron
Headed Big
Parker's husband, yeah. Matt Crowell, amazing actor, dancer, everything, and he loves it as well. He wants to put on a production of it at some point. So I said,
You know, our
please.
friend Craig in New York built the pram. Craig, what is Craig's? Grigg? Not Craig Grigg.
Craig
That's a different
Grigg,
Craig.
yeah. Craig.
It's Craig Grigg. Craig Grigg built. If you're familiar with the show, there's you'll know that the band had this giant baby pram that could be rolled around the stage, and then you would flip it over, and it was the drum set. It had all this awesome stuff attached to it, and the drummer was friggin' phenomenal. But Craig built that thing,
Yeah.
so you should hook Matt. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Up with Craig and
Yeah.
say, give him the designs. Anyway,
The
we're getting way
designs.
off topic.
Sorry,
today.
guys, we left the world of tech and design and all those things, but we announced some pretty exciting things. Evan's got a Redbubble. Allison's going to help some people. There's a beautiful show to catch this weekend and next. If you want to see an original production of a play online for the first time, don't give up on art. We got through a lot of great topics. I feel confident. I feel confident.
I'm glad.
I'm going to take a little rest this weekend because I've been working
Do
a
it.
lot. The weather
Treat
is
yourself.
perfect. I might be
Sit in the hammock.
I might be headed there right this minute. Hammock time.
Go there. Let's not delay.
Mm,
Let's not stop you any
no.
further. Thanks everybody for showing up at the Friday Melee.
Sure do love you guys. Thank you.
Love you too. Everybody
Thanks
stay
to Hannah.
safe.
Thanks Amy, Sarah, and Jesse. Thanks cousin Mike. Thanks Nate. Thanks
Nathan.
Grace. Thanks
Yep.
Megan and Kristen. Oh, we owe an email back to Kristen. Sorry, I've been very busy. Kristen will write you back. Kiki Edwards is in the house. We just really appreciate you guys being here. This is fun for us, seriously. So we will see
It
you
is.
next week. Same time, same place. Until then, go do techie things. I was trying to come up with a